Yeah, absolutely. This was uncovered back in 2013 by a new compliance person. So we're so glad she found that and immediately reported it. And we went through reinstatement and made all those corrective action type changes necessary to move on with this very quickly.
For you, when you were notified of it originally back in 2013, what was the first reaction? What was the first step for you guys?
Well, frankly, I wasn't an athletic director at the time, but I do know from reading the reports, they went into investigation mode and correcting all those errors.
Considering that it was something that you found within your own system, and you guys had your own self-imposed penalties, and the NCAA didn't levy any more, what does that mean to you about the job that I guess you guys did of uncovering it and then also self-reporting?
Well, thank you for asking that, because I think that process was really a healthy one as an institution, and looking at our policies and procedures and how they match up with NCAA regulations. And what we found is we're doing a really good job right now. Sometimes transition and change is good, and in this case it certainly was for us, because we were able to take a really good hard look at what was going on and what we needed to change to comply.
Do you think that in light of everything today that it will make you and the compliance office and just the athletic department in general more cognizant of making sure the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted?
Well, it already has. It already has, in terms of educating all staff members and making sure that all departments on campus are working together and communicating. It already has, certainly.
What's the next step for you guys as an athletic department to make sure that this doesn't happen again?
Well, again, we kind of went through this 3 years ago to make sure it doesn't happen again. One of those corrective action steps was we hired a new staff person trained in financial aid and athletic financial aid, and that was a huge step. Of course, the ongoing training and education is an important piece too.
With the $15,000 fine and also the 2 years of probation from the NCAA, how were those received? Obviously, you self-imposed them, but how were they received when the NCAA said, yes, that's exactly the sanctioning that we think is appropriate in this situation?
Well, we weren't surprised. We've been in constant communication the entire time. And of course, these self-imposed sanctions, we didn't grab them out of thin air. This is consistent with other cases like this, other case history. So I think very fair, again, because we self-imposed them, we were not surprised. And because I think this is an important point too, there was no competitive advantage found, no illegal recruiting, nothing like that, so they didn't take any further corrective action.
Do you see this, broad scope, as, I don't want to say a minor insight, but maybe something that got overlooked that you make sure does not occur again in the future?
Well, I also look back to the history of our institution. Gosh, just 15 years ago, we were Division II, So during that transition time, we probably needed to look at this a little closer back then. Well, too late, but when it was correct, or when it was found in 2013, again, we went back. Gosh, she looked at over 500 student athletes. There were under awards, over awards, some improper meal things, a lot of technical mistakes that we had to clean up, and did.
Anything else you'd like to add?
No, thank you.